townspeople knew him as Rango.
So, in my childhood years, I'd have to be around 6 or 7 years old, I watched this movie with my family on our home television, and being a kid at the time, I was immediately bored in the opening moments of the film, and I left before anything happened. But now as a teenager, he's rewatched the film out of pure curiosity for what this goldfish scene means. I'm fully prepared to explain how Rango masterfully conveys its main theme by focusing on one specific scene from the movie. Though let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Rango was a 2011 animated film starring Johnny Depp and directed by Gore Verbinski, and it was a box office smash with major critical and commercial acclaim. Furthermore, it sticks to the conventions of Western movie while simultaneously being nothing like a traditional Western. In this movie, Rango, a household pet lizard with a love for acting, is caught in the middle of an identity crisis, as after playing so many roles, he has no idea who he is anymore. This crisis, however, doesn't last long, since he's suddenly and violently thrust into the open desert, with no conceivable way to go back to his old life. He eventually finds a desert town called Dirt that's suffering from a drought, pretends to be a hardened cowboy to gain their respect, and has to live up to his role by going on an epic quest to bring the water back. His journey brings him to many cool places, and it's honestly so fun watching all the antics unfold. By the end of the movie, after having his lies revealed by the villain and overcoming that shame, he settled into his role as a hero of the West. If you haven't already guessed, Rango is a film about identity. Specifically, it claims that it's not just something you can make up, but something you need to grow into. The movie does this through its repeated question, who is Rango? However, the scene that we'll be analyzing is arguably the most important in Rango's soul-searching journey. For context, Rango's just had his lies revealed to his fellow townspeople by Rattlesnake Jake and exiles himself from the town in shame. He wanders the desert until eventually he walks across a busy road in an implied attempt to end his own life. However, he miraculously somehow ends up making it to the other side of the road. After doing so, he abruptly collapses of exhaustion and wakes up to this.
The spirit of the West. Excuse me, Mr. Spirit, sir?
Ah, there's a beaut. Sometimes you gotta dig deep to find what you're looking for. So you made it.
Is this heaven? Yeah.
If it were, we'd be eating Pop-Tarts with Kim Novak.
Yeah, no kidding. What are you doing out here?
Searching, same as you.
I don't even know what I'm looking for anymore. I don't even know who I am. Hey, they used to call you the man with no name.
These days, they got a name for just about everything. Doesn't matter what they call you. It's the deeds make the man.
Yeah, but my deeds just made things worse. I'm a fraud. I'm a phony. My friends believed in me, but they need some kind of hero.
Then be a hero.
Oh, no. You don't understand. I'm not even supposed to be here.
That's right. You came a long way to find something that isn't out here. Don't you see? It's not about you. It's about them.
But I can't go back.
Don't know that you got a choice, son. No man can walk out on his own story.
Okay, there's a lot going on here rhetorically, so let's break this analysis down into 3 parts to organize myself and make it easier for you guys to follow along. First, we have the lighting and music, then the location and framing, and finally the symbolism. Let's get started. First off, the lighting of the shot is low-key, with long shadows that help aid with the symbolism I'll talk about in a later segment. For right now, this lighting helps to give off the feeling that Rango is exposed and vulnerable in this moment. Unlike the darkness of previous shots, there are no shadows for him to hide in and no shame to fall back on. Furthermore, the color is drained from the scene to further add to the feeling of exposure. This is compounded by the audio of the scene. There's a strange ambient noise that plays, unlike anything else in the movie, and the complete absence of any music in a movie otherwise filled with colorful sounds and music adds to the feeling of emptiness and alienation that the scene conveys. Secondly, the framing of the scene really serves to make Rango look small and the spirit look big, and the framing really accentuates his words. When he makes that remark about digging deep to find what he's looking for, the director uses extreme close-up to show that we should be paying attention to those words. Also, the scene makes frequent use of Rango reaction shots to highlight his reaction to the spirit's words. Of course, the film also uses high shots and low shots to show the physical size difference between Rango and the spirit, making Rango look physically small in his moment of weakness and the spirit look looming, large and wise and true in his wisdom. Finally, I can't not talk about the brilliance of this framed shot right here, but I'll save it for the next segment, and oh, would you look at that? The symbolism. From the long shadows that both of them cast representing their impact on the world, and the shadows also contributing to that moment where Rango comes in and out of the spirit's shadow to show that he needs to be a hero of his own without copying others, and all the talk about names revolves around the fact that our protagonist's real name is never really mentioned in the movie, if he even has one. I call him Rango for convenience, but that's just a name he gave himself to better fit into his new identity, and in a way, the rest of the movie is about him living up to the name he gave himself. Thus, it makes sense that in his moment of weakness and despair and questioning, he feels he has no name since he doesn't feel he deserves the name Rango. Last but not least, that scene where the Spirit of the West draws a frame around Rango is a direct parallel to the opening of the film. At the start, it symbolized everything Rango could become, but now it represents everything Rango is and how far he's come. And that's it. The cathartic experience with the Spirit of the West develops the film's argument that Rango needs to grow into his identity by drawing parallels to other moments in the film, using lighting and music to shut out everything else and focusing on Rango's internal conflict rather than external ones, and framing the shot so that Rango feels small and hopeless to better contrast the moment of his victory.